Now, as an entrepreneur, then how to use our app in terms of how to complete the market access assessment. After you've logged in into the website, you'll come here to say, yeah, complete your business plan. And then you see it changes to manage your business plan listing. If you click on manage business plan listing, this is your organization. It will be listed like that. It shows you where you are in terms of the rating. Ideally, it's for you to be on 95% so that the market can see that you are compliant. Now, to update each section, you will have to click on your business. Then it will bring you this dashboard. So basically on this dashboard, it's got all the key sections that you need to consider or that you need to work on as an entrepreneur to access the market. The first one is administrative section. You need to complete all the sections by clicking on that rating there that you see there. So if you click on it, it will give you a form that you need to complete. And the second section is on management. This is assess the management and the technical ability and know-how of the team. And the third one is on the market section. It assesses your value proposition, the market that you have already secured, the barrier to entry, and the industry growth. So this is just analyzes the market for you to see if the market that you are going into is viable, and it rates you. And then the third one is on the operational section. It gives you the overall rating. So on the operation section, we look at the operating system, we look at the operating and technical compliance. We look at the systems and processes because they are very important to look at. And the fourth one is on the finance section. The funding that is required, the working capital required, and the actual performance, your current actual performance. And then the financial projections that you have made and the financial security. What security are you providing? And then on the fifth one, we're looking at the social impact, which is the social empowerment and the job creation. So there you're going to do the self-rating, where you rate yourself in terms of where do you see yourself, but the app will guide you. And the last section is on legal section, where legal compliance, are you compliant with the requirement of your industry, and if there are any litigations that you are involved in. This is the dashboard for accessing the market. As you complete it, first you will self-assess yourself to see where you think you are. And on the red one, then the facilitator, you'll appoint a facilitator through the app who will assess the same things that you have assessed, so that when we send out your profile to potential institution that will be able to give you access to market, it will have both the ratings, your ratings and the ratings of the facilitator. Make sure that when you complete this, you are as honest as possible. If you don't have the documentation, just be honestly respond to the questions that are asked in an honest way, so that even when the facilitator is doing the facilitation to support you, they know that they are starting from the correct base. Because in an effort for you to score a higher overall score, you might want to exaggerate some of the rating. It's not important. It doesn't help you. You might come across as a person who's not reliable. For you to make sure that you are consistent and they know who they're dealing with, your initial assessment is very, very important. So I'll show you how you do your initial assessment, but that assessment is critical because it's set as a basis. Because after the facilitator has assisted you to improve your scoring, then you're going to have the assessor who will be totally independent, will also assess your score to see if the scoring was reasonable and it was consistent, so that he can recommend your business for access to market or access to funding or whatever the opportunities are there. So depending on the consistency of the scoring, it's important for you as an entrepreneur to be honest when you're completing this assessment tool. To complete the assessment tool, depending on which section you want to complete. If, let's say, you want to complete the industry growth, you just click there on self-rating. You have the tab there. If you click there, then it opens you a window for you to show you the items that you need to assess. For example, it's operational system, is documentation, is the training that is being provided. So there are different scores for that item. So for you to edit the score, you simply go and click on edit. So on edit, you open this form. Then there's a question, operation management. This one is the overall comments that you give in terms of the supporting document that you verified or the supporting documents that you use. And then on the challenges identified, as an entrepreneur as well, be as open as possible, because this is the development areas. Because if you try to hide the challenges, then the system or the people who are assisting you, they wouldn't know which area you want support on. So it's very important for you to be able to identify the challenges. It's mainly on this section. And then the corrective actions is on the corrective actions that you think they must be taken. So it will be your view as an entrepreneur, and the facilitator as well will have a view on what corrective actions can be taken. So these are the actions that will be taken to improve your scoring. There must be interventions that are required, and then the app, as its objective is to facilitate access to markets. It also facilitates access to training. If you identify opportunities here and you put in the corrective action, then the platform will be able to identify the entrepreneurs who needs a certain intervention. It will group you together and source that specific intervention on your behalf. It's very, very important when you're completing this form that first to be honest on the first section. Okay, honest throughout, obviously, but being as clear as possible on the challenges that you have on this section, and then the corrective actions that you wish they could be taken, or the corrective action that you're gonna take. It depends. Sometimes there are certain things that you will be able to do on your own, but there are sometimes certain things that you can't do on your own. So here you indicate the corrective actions that needs to be taken. Then you get to the assessment itself, where there's a drop down. We made it easy for entrepreneurs. It's the drop down. It gives you options. Then you just choose the closest options to your organization. Here, the first one, for instance, say operation management system. Okay, is it sufficiently documented? Do you have sufficiently documented policies and procedures? If yes, then it will be sufficiently. And then if no, if it's insufficient, it's documented but it's insufficient, then you choose that. Or if you don't have the system at all, be honest about it so that we know what interventions your organization will need if it requires intervention. It's not that if you put in a negative, call it a negative answer, you wouldn't be assisted. But you will get an appropriate assistance if you are honest when you complete this diagnostic tool. This is what we call the diagnostic tool, because it diagnoses the challenges that you might be having in you accessing the market. But the important thing is to make sure that you have access to market. So we identify all the problems challenges that you might have, and then make sure that they're addressed. Here on the system, and then on the operational management, then we have, is the system documented?